So now let us try to do this again. So actually, let us try to understand what is a data table, what is execute reader, and execute data adapter. Okay, now let us try to understand what is a data table. So data table, as you can tell, this is the table. Okay, table, and table of what? Table of data. So data table means table. So simply this is nothing more than a table. For example, this is a table. This is nothing more than a table. So this is simply like a table. So here you could be having user ID, username, password, and role, and all those informations are here. So this is basically the table that contains the data. That is the data table. All right. So you might have understood now what is data table. Okay. So how do you work with the data table now? Let us say now I try to bring some value. I try to bring some value by writing a command select start from. Let me go into the SQL part and let me try to explain what I'm trying to do there. Let's go to Object Explorer. Let's go to. Let me again go to my query section. New query. So whenever I do select star from user table, what you will see is you will see a data populated onto your screen. You see a lot of data is coming out here, right? But we want to save this data somewhere. We want to save this data somewhere. Okay. So where do you want to save this data? So in order to save this data, what you can do, you can store it into a data table. So you can store this data, that information here. So just by writing a select start from user table, we will be able to retrieve all the data. But where will be able to save? We want to save this user table data under the data table. And once the data is loaded inside a data table, so data table is not visible actually. So data table is a background process. It's a background process that cannot be, that is not visible to the front end. Okay, so this will be in the back end. In the back end, your data will be stored on some data table. But once I get the data onto my data table, I want to load it somewhere. Okay, so what is visible to us? The only thing that is visible to us is the data grid view. So first of all, what you will do, will get a data to the data table, and from the data table, we will bind it to the grid view. Otherwise, I have to write the for loop and I have to write the query to bring each and every row and then populate onto the grid view, which is not a very good idea. So the better idea is to get the data to the data table and then bind this data table to the data grid view, which makes the operation very fast. Okay, rather than directly operating with the database, which makes the operation very slow. So in order to make a data retrieval process fast, what you will do, you'll be using a data table. The data table is nothing but simply a table that will contain the data, which can be again manipulated and used to bind it to also it to somewhere else. Okay. So now how do you work? Now how do you work with the data table? So in order to work with the data table, so what you will do is you will create an instance of a data table, as you have been doing with the SQL command. As you have been doing with SQL command, so data table dt equals new data table means the dt is now an instance of SQL data table, and again we can write a query. Let's say we can write a query to get the information. For example, we can do, we can just retrieve all the data, select start from user table. So as I told you, you need to have a connection string passed everywhere. Whenever you write a query, the connection string has been passed. So you can see here, this is now selecting all the value from user table. But now, when you are writing insert operation, you are able to execute by using execute non-query. But in order to execute this as select statement, you cannot use execute non-query. No, we cannot use execute non-query to execute the retrieval of the value. We cannot use execute non-query to execute the same thing, because this is right, the query is select, is basically is a select operation. So in order to execute the SQL command that contains a select operation, we use a SQL data reader. So what you can do, I can just write SQL data reader, create the instance, and I can just create execute reader, because I have to support, I am supposed to read a value. So dir means object of SQL data reader, and SQL data reader is basically executing this executing this command specified inside the CMD. So executor will try to retrieve each and every line from a data table. But at the same time, once it is executed, now where do you want to store the value? We want to store the value inside a data table. Otherwise, it's just like you are reading a value and you are just throwing it somewhere. It's just like you are reading and then forgetting, reading and forgetting. But we do not want to read and forget. We want to populate the value somewhere. So we want to populate the value inside a data table. So what we can do in this case is, so first of all, you need to open the connection in order to run this query. You have to open the connection. So that you have to do counter open. Once you execute the query, now the value has to be stored somewhere. So what I can do in this case, I can just do dt.loadtr. I can just do dt.loadtr. So what this will do, this will now, and we have to close the connection. Now what this will do is, now whatever the value is brought by the execute reader will be stored inside a data table. Now data table is the table contains all the list of the users, but still that won't be visible. It won't be visible to you till up to now. So how to make it visible? So you can make it visible. So you can make it visible by binding it to the grid view. So if you can see, you have a grid viewer and you have information in the data table, but we want to bind it to the grid view. So let's see how can I bind it. I can bind it by using a data grid view name, the DGV grid view, whatever is the grid view. Dot I can do data source, and this is equal to now DT because DT contains all the information of the users. So if you do this, then DT, all the information from the DT is directly bound to the data grid view. So now I hope you don't understand this because this is not easy to understand. So let us try to analyze it using a program. I will repeat it again. It's not really the first time that you can understand this. So let us try to understand in a real program. So let me just write a view code and let me create a function over here. So let me just have public get users, public void get users. Or also what you can do, what is your whatever is your class name, for example, you can let me say, okay, let's create a function public void users. Okay, let's say users list. Okay, so this function is going to retrieve all the user list. So as I told you, what you will do is just create an instance for data table. So let's say data table dt question data table, because under this data table will be loading all the value. So are you clear with this line of statement, everyone? So you can say data table is created to load all the values, and then we can write a SQL command. So the command is select start from user table. And you have to pass the connection string. So we wrote execute cmd SQL command and the query select start from user table. So once we have done that, now you need to execute this query. So in order to execute this query, what we need to do is we need to use SQL data adapter, so SQL data reader. So I have to open the connection, and I can just do SQL data reader dr equals to cmd dot execute reader, not execute non-query reader. We need to reader, and I need to load all the value inside the DT, the data table. I need to whatever is fetched by dr, which is trying to read each and every line of a data table, is saved inside a DT. So every time, now this will work in a loop, and once this is able to bring the data, all the data is stored inside a DT. So once it is able to fetch all the data, now let me close the connection. And but still this won't be visible to everyone. For example, if I call this function anywhere, for example, if I call this here, you won't be see the users. You won't be able to see the users. So calling them means the thing should happen on the form load. So let me see. So let's log in. So let's go to users. So are you able to see any users? No, you are not able to see any users, but still the informations are saved in your data table. Since the information are saved in the data table, but you have not been able to visualize it in a grid view. So now let's visualize that on the grid view. So I can just DGV you can details. The data source should be equal to now DT. So once I do this, all the information from my data table is now stored inside my data grid view. So now I'll be able to visualize all my users. Now let me log in and run and check. Let me go to users, and now you can see we have all those users just now. We have all the users populated onto the grid view, and our objective is done. This is what we exactly wanted to do. All right, everyone. So, so I hope if you have a question, please raise your question in a chat box. Selections. So please let me know your question that you have anyone. Do you have a question? Do you get it or do you don't get it? Because we'll be doing it a lot of time. So did you get SQL data reader, SQL data table? So please give me a quick information, everyone. Did you understand this or not? Please give me a quick information, everyone. Yeah, so only. Can you please give me a quick confirmation, everyone, about this data table, data reader? Only two yes is yes, Paris yes. Only two confirmations. What about the rest? Let me repeat it once more. Let me get back to the work. So first of all, our major objective was today was to understand this data table and data execute reader. Okay, and what we did is we understood that data table is a table of the data, nothing more than that. And if you do select start from the user table, this is going to read all the user. But in order to execute the query, we need to have a execute reader. We need to have a SQL data reader. So what we did is select start from the data table to user table is getting, so we'll be retrieving all the value through the use of SQL data reader. Just a second, everyone. I have a small call here. हजुर कुन चाहिँ पुरानै ए ल ल मेरो यो 11 बजेदेखि क्लासमा हजुरलाई आधी घण्टा त पठाइदिनु हुन्छ मोडिफाई म आज बेलुकासम्म मात्र गर्छु सर आज राति नै हुन्छ होला या त म त्योभन्दा सक्दो चाँडै गरेर दिन्छु Okay, I'll just send you the word file. Okay, electricity is a problem everywhere. Yesterday there was no electricity for the whole day. I was just fried yesterday. Okay. So this I'll just send you the word file. So let us again try to understand what we are trying to do. So basically, select start from the user table will get all the user, and then in order to execute this query, you need to have SQL data reader because you cannot do it by using SQL. Just a second, everyone. Ajay. Hello. Ajay. Class में रहता है ना क्लास में हम लोग कहाँ बात करें ठीक है मैं तो टाइम दे रहा हूँ वहाँ पर मैंने अपने टॉप फोन पर नॉर्मल बात किया एक सौ तो तीस हमसे ये हमने सभी नॉर्मल बात करी बोला तो आवाज आ रही है और ऑनलाइन नहीं सभी काम हो रहा है काम टर्नी छ सबैजना फोन गरेर अगाडि गर्ने हुन् अब यो सबको सेकेन्ड इयरको सबलाई मैले सबको इमेल आइडीहरू मिलाएर सबैजना सेकेन्ड सेमेस्टर फोर्थ सेमेस्टर थर्ड सेमेस्टर हालिदिनु पर्ने काम थियो हाम्रो यस्तो भोलिपछि क्लास सुरु छ म पनि आज एकदम बिजी छु सर, एकदमै बिजी छु आज। होइन सर त्यो गर्नुपर्छ। केटाहरू खै भोलि आउने भनेको छ नि अस्ति फोन गर्दाखेरि, अब भोलि मान्छे फलो गर्छ केटाहरू बोलाएर झाडु गरिहाल्छ। तपाईँ आज यो सबलाई सिक्ने भन्दै अब हुन्छ सर, म यसो गर्छु तपाईँलाई फ्री भएर म कल गर्छु। Sorry everyone, I had a small call. So now again, let's get started with the work. Okay, let me just try to revise this. So we created a data table. We just wrote a select star from user table command, which is trying to retrieve all the users. And in order to execute this command, we need to have a SQL data reader, and we need to have an execute reader to execute that command. And once the command is executed, this will read one line at a time. For example, let's say if you have this reader, the execute reader will read this line first, then this line second, then this line, then this line, then this line. So we need to store this value somewhere. So in order to store this value, what we can do is we can create a data table. So we had already created a data table. So whatever the value is read, we want to store that under dt. So dt.load there, what this will do, suppose for example, if this is reading this line of code, then data table will be loaded with this line of this first user, second user, third user, fourth user, and finally all the users will be loaded inside this data table. So once all the loading is complete, we'll close the connection, and this won't be visible to us. This data table is not visible to us because this works in the backend. This works in the backend. This is a background process, and once this is done, we want to visualize that onto the grid view. So in order to visualize that onto the grid view, what we can do, we can use the DGB, whatever is the grid view name, the data source equals to name of the data table that we have defined here. In this way, you'll be able to visualize all the data table. So this is exactly what I have done here. If you can see, I just wrote all the code here. So we created a data table, we wrote the SQL command, selecting all the users, open the connection, executed the select statement by using the execute reader, and executing this reader with the help of the SQL data reader. So data reader means reading all the value brought by the execute reader and loading that value inside a DT, and once the value is loaded, we'll close the connection, and we are visualizing the data onto the DGB user details, which is our data grid view. So once this is done, we'll be able to visualize all our data. Now since this is a function, we can call it everywhere, so I call it under the form load under this constructor. I just used a constructor to call this function. And once this is done, let us say I just want to call this function here as well. For example, I can just call user list here. So once the user is created, I'll be able to visualize it over here as well. So once this is done, and let me execute this now. So if you create a new user, that should be populated exactly onto the data grid view. So let me log in again and let me check whether I am able to do it or not. So let me go to users and let me create any dummy users. For example, let's say Niti Vital. Create, and that's has created. Now let us see whether we have their user is created out here. Alright everyone, so we created it, and still you can see once I create a user, these fields are not blank. So still I want this to be blank. So for that also let me write some logic. Actually I could have written a different logic. I could have just created a general function, called it anywhere, but let me make it simple for right now. So let me just go to the section where I. So let me just make it small and let me write my function public void clear, and let me just clear all the textual txt, let's say username dot clear, txt password dot clear, txt confirm password dot clear, and then cmb role dot index selected index equals to -1. So -1 means no index is selected. You won't be able to see anything onto the combo box. So I can call this function now. Once the user is created, I can just call this function here. So once this function is called, you can see that this all the fields will be in a blank. So let us go to users and let me create test user. can see the things are now blank, and if you check, the, it is ready to accept a new one. Now, what is my major objective? I also want to make an update and delete operation. So for that, what I can do is, so in order to make an update and delete, first of all, I need to make a selection here. So let us say what I want to select, whom do I want to update. For example, I want to update this demo user. So let's say if I click on this demo user, so all the values will be populated onto the corresponding text boxes and the combo box. And once I can change the value, and once I click on the update button, the values will be updated. So this is my major objective for now. So let us see how we can do that. So for that, you need to write some event. We need to trigger some events of the data grid view. So before I move to the next part, please let me know any question that you have till here. If you have any question till here, please let me know anyone. If you get it right, yes. If you do not get it right, no. Straightforward. I am waiting for your information, everyone. If you get it, okay. Vishal, Rosen has yes. Suyes has yes. Vinayak has yes. Okay, so I see a lot of yes. Vishal, I think you have electricity problem. You can sort it out, and I will provide you the all old videos, and then you can just try to understand them. So let me proceed further. So now let me go to the designer part. Now let me select this data grid view. Let me right click on the data grid view, go to the property section, and now I'll be getting into the event part. This is the events. You can see a lot of options here, categorized A to Z, and this is a property window, and there is events. But I'll be choosing events, and then I'll be choosing a cell click event. So most of the time you make a mistake. Many of the people make a mistake by clicking on the cell content click, but it's not that you have to click on the cell content click. You have to click on the cell click. So let's click on the cell click. And before I move into the writing this code, I need to create one more variable here. So let me go to here and let me create a public variable user ID. I would need a user ID. So let me retrieve the user ID. So user ID now, since it's the integer value, so let the integer pass. So let me close this, and here dgv dot selected rows, and that's 0th row, and the cells is user ID dot value. So there is an issue here. Let me fix it out. So let me just fix it, everyone. dgv user details. User ID. Yes. Hello. Sir. Good morning. Huh? Rajan Sharma. भन्नु न. कुन सेक्सनको तपाईँ? ए तपाईहरुको हो. तपाईहरुको आज भोलिमा क्लास सुरु हुँदैछ. घरबाट यहाँ चितवनबाट कसैले फोन गरेको छैन हैन हैन चितवनबाट फोन गएको छैन हैन चितवन किनकि यहाँ त कोही स्टाफै छैन फोन गर्नको लागि तपाईको क्लास काठमाडौँबाट होला हैन यहाँ तपाईहरुको क्लास स्टार्ट म तपाईहरुलाई फोन गर्ने भएर थिए हैन मलाई तपाईहरुको एउटा कुरा के कन्फर्म गर्नु थियो भने तपाईहरुको इमेल आइडीहरु छ कि छैन कलेजको इमेल आइडी छ कि छैन हैन है त्यसकारण म तपाईहरुलाई मैले कल गर्दा हैन तपाईहरुको कलेजको लागि म भन्न छु त्यसपछि तपाईहरुको नेटवर्किङ सरकारी त्यसमा रोल गर्नु Sorry for the interruption, everyone. I had a call. Again, let me get started where I was. I am having some issues here. Let me see what is the problem. Okay, so I think I don't know what is the problem here. Can I apply indexing with? Okay, so what is that? Actually, this should work. Yeah, I got it. Okay, that is 0. Okay, this was because of this. Sorry. So this is because of this. Sorry. So everyone, this was a small mistake here. Let me correct it. So let me try to explain what exactly I'm trying to do. Also, this could be 0. This could be 0. This could be 0 here. No problem. So let me do one more. One. Okay, let us try to understand this first. What is this DGB? Okay, DGB means this one. This is a data grid view. And then what is the selected rows? And what is the cells? And then two strings. So let us try to analyze each and everything. So before that, let me run this and show you exactly what I'm trying to do. So let me run it here. Let me go to users. And now if you click on any one of this, yeah, let me fix the issue. Input string was not in the correct format. That's okay. Because what I have done. Okay, integer user ID. That's okay. Integer pass. Because this has not taken this as a string value. So let me just pass it to user ID. Just let me see why the error happening here. Okay, all right. Let me just run and check. Okay, there is some issue here. Let me correct it, fix it. Then I'll come back to the input string. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just comment out this line. I'll just fix the issue. Let me comment this line. Let me run it again. Let me go to users. Okay, it's here. Okay, I think that's okay. Let me select. Okay. So I got an error here. Of this, because of this, there is error. So let me just make solve this first. Yeah, the problem is this one. I'm sorry. There is a small problem here. Let me just fix it. It should be dot value to string. Sorry. That's what I was having. Let's correct. Okay, that's it. Now let me make it 0 first, then the thing should be more clear. Let's run it now. Let's log in. And let's go to users and let us choose anyone. Now let us say if you select this one, or if you select this one, so how many rows are selected at a time? How many rows are you able to select? Any guess, everyone? Anyone? How many rows can you select at once? What is the number of rows that you can select? Rosen has one, Vishal one. Yeah, absolutely. You can select only one row at once. And for Visual Studio, let's say for Ashok one, that's correct. And for us, if we are selecting one row, So by default in programming in C Sharp or Java, if you select 1, that means you select 0. The first value always starts with 0. That means you have selected the 0th element. Okay, so this is the 0th row. So if you select any row, that means you have selected 0th row. Okay, so that means this is a 0th row, and this is a 0th row and the 0th column. Alright everyone, this is the 0th row and the 0th column. So this is selected row 0 and the cells means column 0. So if you look into my program, it will say you selected row 0 and the cells 0. That means 0th row and the 0th column value. Similarly, this one with 0th row and the 1 column. That username is 0th row and the 1 column. So if I go into my program, you can see 0th row and the 1 column. So 0th row 1 column is username. That's why I am trying to paste that inside the username. So I hope that makes sense now everyone. So that's why I just did dgb user details, the selected row 0th row and first cells dot value dot to string. Similarly, I can just do txt password dot text be equal to now dgb user details dot selected row 0 dot cells 2 dot value dot to string. Again, txt confirm password is also the same. It's exactly the same. And cmd role also the same. Cells 3. Okay, all right. So this is the major concept. So let us run it again and check it out. Let's log in. Let's go to users and let's try to fix it now. Okay, so you are able to select this, but we are not able to get this one. Okay, let me see why is that. So now the problem here is, for example, I'll fix this issue later. Let us keep it as it is for now. What would happen in this case? Let's say in this type of work, what would happen is, for example, if a username comes here and roles comes here, then this system will not work. If there is a mismanipulation of this column, then this system will fail. This will fail. That's why what you do in this case is, now instead of writing the 0, 1, 2 and 3, we can just make some modifications, and then instead of the 0 we can specify the column that you want to point out. For example, I can make user ID. So even if the column position changes, that does not affect the output that you get. That is a username, password, and this is row. So let's run this again, and I hope you get the same output here. So let's log in. Let's go to users and let's just select any one of them. Actually, I'm just skipping this part for now, and you can see you got a username, password, and a confirm password. So if you choose any one of them, okay, for this it works fine. It worked here. So user, it didn't work, otherwise it worked for us. Okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. Okay. Okay. Okay, you can just see the value changes. Here it changed. I think there are some problems here. We'll fix that one. No problem. So you could change the value upon a data grid view click. So this is how you can populate the data onto the corresponding text boxes depending upon the click on the data grid view. So I think, okay. So since you have done this now, so we can go on with the update and the delete operation, but actually I do not want to continue for today. I would like to request you all to go through this first and try it out in your home with the project that we have. And once you are having your hands dirty on this, then we can proceed further. Will that work for you, everyone? Cells 4. Okay, let me check. Is that cells 4? Zero, 1, 2, 3. That's 3. It's not 4. Okay. Is that okay if we stop for today and we'll continue with the update and delete tomorrow, everyone? Because update and delete, if I try to put everything, then it would be complicated for today. Is that okay, everyone? If we continue tomorrow again for this? Yeah, I'll upload the video. Rosen, yes. In the meantime, if anybody has a question, please raise the question. Anyone? Or if you do not have a question, I'm going to stop for the today's session and then I'll continue tomorrow again. So if you have a question, raise your question, or you can keep on leaving now, everyone. Okay, everyone, take care. So see you tomorrow again. We'll continue with this work. And once you have a very basic understanding, obviously you can do a very complex work.